Hello everybody and welcome to another video about Star Trek Online. This video is about the T5-U Jem'Hadar Bugship in the game. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I had advised a lot of the newer players in my fleet that one of the workarounds to quickly get yourself a better ship is just simply to go and create a free Jem'Hadar toon. As a free-to-play player, you will have 8 free character slots, and I know that a lot of people aren't using all those slots. In fact, probably only even using one of the slots for their their main Federation toon. But what you should do, guys, if you do have a free character slot, is just to go and create a Jem'Hadar toon. Now, when you create the Jem'Hadar toon, they're a lot different from the other toons because they start at level 60. And they also come with this ship as standard, so whatever career path you choose, when you create your Jem'Hadar toon, you will get this ship as your starter ship right away. And it is much better than the T5 ships that you get with the other races in the game. So again, if you're stuck in the T5 ship, then this is a very viable option for you. And I understand that a lot of people are put off by doing this for roleplay reasons, because they really don't want a Jem'Hadar, even a Federation Jem'Hadar toon to be their main toon, and that's absolutely fine, guys, because what you can do is, when you've created this toon, even as a free-to-play player, there is ways to transfer energy credits and also dilithium between your toons without having any shared bank slots or anything like that you have to pay for. Now, I'm not going to get into details about how you do that. You can either ask about in the game, in the fleet. A lot of people know how to do this. There's also, go and search on YouTube where you will find multiple videos showing how to transfer energy credits and dilithium between free-to-play toons. Okay, just using the commodities exchange and the dilithium exchange. Right, so what I'm basically saying is, this does not have to become your main toon. Right, this can be an alt, what we call an alt toon, a secondary toon that gets used mainly for grinding and dill farming purposes, right? And a lot of people, free to play and also paying players, will have these alt toons, right? So that is exactly what you should do. And again, I don't have any free character slots, so I can't actually show you exactly how it works. But again, you can go onto YouTube. There's loads of videos made when the Gamma expansion came out, showing you what will happen when you create this free-to-play toon. And I can assure you, it will not take you any more than about half an hour from starting that toon to basically getting the choice between what faction, either Federation or KDF, you want to ally with. Obviously, you must ally with the Federation when you get given that choice, guys. So just make sure that you do that. And once you're allied with the Federation, all you simply have to do is contact one of us in game, a Honey Badger's fleet member, or go to the Discord, whatever, and get us to send you a fleet invite. And then you will also have that toon in the fleet as well. So that'll be a great boost to you. And then, as I said, what you'll be able to do is, just simply transfer funds between the different toons to whatever toon you want to be your main toon, whether it be this toon or another toon. It's really very simple. It's the only way in the game at the minute to get yourself a completely free T5-U ship. Okay, so what will happen is you'll create that toon, you go through a tutorial, one single mission, then you'll be given the choice to choose faction, and you choose your federation as your faction. Okay, and then you'll have this ship. So brought this ship up into the Dyson sphere here. We're going to have a quick look at her. So it's the Jem'Hadar escort T5-U. As I said, it's your starter ship with every Jem'Hadar toon. It's an escort. Mastery package is precise weapons, +5 accuracy, +5 defense rating, +10 kinetic and energy damage. Finally, +2.5 critical chance. So quite a nice package here, pretty much standard escort package. Weapons configuration is a 5-3-1 configuration. She's an escort, so she has an experimental weapon slot available to her. So ideally suited, as most escorts are, for a cannons or dual beam banks type of build, which is what I've got set up here. The build I've got here is just the same as I was using in my previous video about the Undyne warship. It's the morphogenic 3-piece, 3 crafted dual cannons, fleet deflector, competitive engines, fleet warp core, tele shields, at the back, crafted turret, crafted omni array, and the morphogenic weapon as part of the morphogenic set that I'm using. Experimental weapon for me is a soliton wave impeller, which you won't have access to unless you got the Ricine corvette from the summer event. You'll have the ion stream projector, I believe, in there instead. Okay, but you will have a weapon to fill the slot anyway, that's the main thing. Devices: Kobayashi Maru, energy amplifier, engineering consoles are Bellum RCS accelerator from the Discovery, Bellum EPS regulator from Discovery, simulated module from the Omega, and I put in the 4th power subcore, which was a reward from the Breach event earlier in the year. Science consoles are my link command matrix from the Vanguard, Jem'Hadar Vanguard carrier, DPRM, 0-point energy conduit from your Romulan rep. Tactical consoles are vulnerability exploiter from the fleet, matrix controller for the morphogenic 3-piece, Lorca's fire controls from the Discovery rep, and finally another exploiter from the fleet. And bridge officer stations with this ship are Commander Tactical, Lieutenant Tactical, Lieutenant Commander Engineering, Ensign Engineering, Lieutenant Science Station. And the traits I'm using on here are a good day to die, beam barrage, cannon training, bulkhead technician, fleet coordinator, innocuous, operative, thrill seeker, projectile training. Starship traits: persistence of the founders, withering barrage, emergency weapon cycle, supercharged weapons, improved command frequency, Space reputation, magnified firepower, precision, tireless duality, advanced targeting, enhanced armor penetration. Active space reps are anti-time, singularity, biomolecular shield, sensor interference platform, quantum singularity. Okay, so as for stations, again, you know, I'm not going to get into the details of the build, but you can see here what I have got slotted at the minute. The only really downside is with this ship is that you don't have any universal stations, so it's not as flexible as like the warship was. For instance, the Undying warship that I had reviewed previously, it doesn't have quite of that flexibility, but still pretty good bridge seating, a good, you know, pretty well balanced in my opinion between, you know, offense and defense there. And as you can see here, I've chose to do what we call a half-bat build. So I'm using a combination of Photonic Officer 1 and Ox to Bat 1 to get the cooldowns. And if you look at my roster here, this is my duty officers. So I've got 2 projectile cooldown officers because I'm using the morphogenic torpedo, which is a longer cooldown, and that helps with that. And then because I'm using the half Ox to Bat build, I've got to have these 3 technicians in here to proc the cooldowns. And finally, I've just filled out with this one here that reduces my transwarp cooldown, so I can, you know, just zip about quicker. Right, so what we'll do quickly now is we'll go through the Vanity Shields that I have for the ship. Currently there's nothing there, so this is the way that you'll see her coming out of the box. Slip on the Alliance Vanity Shield. Again, I'm not really getting into my opinions because at the end of the day it is just a matter of taste, right? So this is the Alliance Shield. Discovery Shield. Dyson. Delta. Carry. Medical. Romulus. Cara. Temporal. Terran. Base your defense. Jem'Hadar. And again, that's just a discovery visual that we've seen earlier on. So that's a good look at the visuals that's available for the ship. So time to test the ship out then. So I actually took the ship into an ISA earlier on, and she passed at 90k. So a very, a very good pass, I would say, for a ship that you get totally for free. So she can definitely handle herself in an ISA. But what I'm going to do here, just for quickness, is to take her into an advanced patrol, and we'll see how she does in that. So let's see. I did our gallery last time. Let's try something different. A good one is actually the 9th rule. I need to go here. I'm in my I'm at my fleet spire here, so I can't actually join the patrol. In fact, I was going to queue for an ISA. Oh, it's coming off queue now, right? What I'll do then is I'll actually queue for an ISA and parse it just to see. Oh, nice one. So we're going to take her into a pretty tough test, a Pug ISA, guys. As I say, she managed to get 90k earlier on in a Pug, so we'll see how she gets on this time. Zapogayesi.
The situation is grim. There's more. Begin by destroying the net.
This is the Toon bomb. Warning, ship is under attack. Of your emergency.
Looks like there's another Bugship. That's interesting.
Getting the deadite transformer. Done. The Netite probes can repair the transformers. Stop them! Destroy it!
Attack. I'm gonna paste it into the chat as well. Let's see what she got. 89.23k. So another very nice performance, and that is actually quite consistent our 2 runs, so that's also nice to see. I'm just checking my previous run, which I believe was my previous run to this earlier tonight was 89.93k, and tonight was 80, and the now was 89.2. So very, very consistent our 2 runs, and that is actually what you're looking for. Hold on a minute. Just copy these results and I'll paste them into. Everybody's away anyway, but I always like to do that. So yeah. So that was a good run, and I will be posting the pass in the description. But again, I think you've seen there She's an excellent ship, a very good escort. There's usually a bit more loot than that about. Come on, it doesn't want to know it well. So be it. So, anyway, guys, I was going to take her into that patrol, but again, I've done that. You know, if she can handle herself like an IS, she's going to breeze through, as I said, any normal or advanced content in the game. So, again, I'll just quickly recap, guys. Strongly advise you, go and use one of these free slots to create one of these toons and use this ship for grinding, you know, if you want to call it that, and then you can just transfer all your ill-gotten gains out of your main Federation toon, and it's really as simple as that. It'll just, again, make your life so much easier. So I'm going to end the video here. I do hope that has, you know, answered any doubts that people have in their heads about this no being a viable way around having to pay for a good ship in the game. You know, any ship that can consistently pull 90k in ISAs, and again, I was the highest there. I'd pretty much carried the team with this ship on a Pug ISA. What more can I say? So thanks very much again for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all in game soon. Bye for now then.